And it's Tuesday. It's the Raw Leadership Talk. I'm glad to be here today, bringing you the Raw Leadership Talk. Today discussing on the topic of the effects of beliefs. The effects of beliefs. Where are you tuning in from? Kindly let me know. Are you in Nairobi? Are you in any part of Kenya? Are you in East Africa, in West Africa, South Africa? Where are you tuning in from? Today we want to look at a very important topic, and that is the effect of beliefs, covered in the chapter 2 of my book, Eradicating the Poverty Mentality. And I want us to have this important discussion today. How do beliefs affect us? What can we do to move ourselves in the right direction? Cloud, tuning in from South Africa, welcome my brother. I'm glad you could tune in today. I'm glad you could tune in. You and me are products of beliefs. What are the kind of beliefs that affect us every day? What are the beliefs that have formed the system inside of us? Thank you for tuning in. In a moment, we will begin our topic of the day. Effects of beliefs. Today, this broadcast is coming to you live from our center of the African Center for Public Speaking, Luther Plaza, right in the CBD of Nairobi. Glad you could tune in. Thank you. Thank you very much. Effects of beliefs. Effects of beliefs. You know, beliefs are indeed effective. Beliefs are indeed effective, whether we like it or not. Whether you believe that beliefs are strong and they can affect you or you don't, that doesn't matter, because beliefs are indeed effective. Subtle as some of them are, as we live and they are ingrained in us, they continue to develop and become an important part of our lives. And all of us have different kinds of beliefs that they have formed a great part of our lives. They have become an important part of our lives. Human beings have been known to invent disturbing beliefs and keep themselves disturbed about their own disturbances. Human beings have been known to invent disturbing beliefs and keep themselves disturbed about their own disturbances. Now, this is according to one of the assumptions within the rational emotive therapy by Albert Ellis. What kind of beliefs have you invented in your life? What kind of beliefs did you inherit in your life? And how have these beliefs affected you? Are they affecting you positively, or are they affecting you negatively? Are they affecting you positively, or are they affecting you negatively? Now, if you scrutinize yourself, you will realize that what keeps you disturbed most of the time are products of your own inventions. What keeps you disturbed most of the time are products of your own inventions. Now, I want us today to analyze the assumption of rational emotive therapy by Albert Ellis, and you will discover that actually as we go through the sequence in these points, that in real sense, we are products of our own beliefs. So let's look at the first assumption of the rational emotive therapy by Albert Ellis, that people condition themselves to feel disturbed through self-talk rather than being conditioned by external sources. Now, there could be external sources that are there, but in real sense, what conditions us is self-talk. People condition themselves to feel disturbed through self-talk. Now, when I talk about self-talk, what do I mean? Have you ever caught yourself telling yourself, how stupid could I be? This is so difficult. I don't think I will make it. Life is becoming so terrible. I think I have COVID. Have you ever felt that? And this is the thing that you talk to yourself. This is what I refer to as self-talk. This is not things that you rehearse what you're going to say. Most of the time, these are things that you say consciously or unconsciously every day. There could be something that has happened and you feel and say to yourself, that is so terrible of me. And you don't give a damn about what you have said about. And this is what Albert Ellis said, that people condition themselves to feel disturbed through self-talk. People condition themselves to feel disturbed through self-talk rather than being conditioned by external sources. But yes, there could be external sources, but most of the time these external sources have no much power except for what we give them, for what we allow them to have. And so most of the time we condition ourselves by our own self-talk. And an average person does a lot of self-talk in a day. You talk to yourself. You say things to yourself. Now, what about if these things that you keep saying to yourself, they were positive, impactful, reflective, things that put you in a rock pedestal to grow into the mountaintop of success? But you know what? Most of the time, the things that we keep talking to ourselves are disturbing, and we condition ourselves and get ourselves disturbed because these self-talks are not, most of the time, positive, great, impactful self-talks to ourselves. So change your self-talk. If you want to transform your life, begin by changing your self-talk. Because the more you keep saying things, you tend to believe. The more you believe, you tend to act. The more you act, you create a behavior pattern. And your behavior pattern begins to influence the destiny of your life. Destiny of your life. The second part is people, through cultural and biological tendencies, think irrationally and needlessly disturb themselves. People, through cultural and biological tendencies, think irrationally and needlessly disturb themselves. Now, I will tell you this. I've done a study on this as a person that has a lot of interest in cognitive psychology. I tell you that I agree that people through cultural and biological tendencies think irrationally. We find ourselves influenced by cultural and biological tendencies, and we get to a point where we are thinking irrationally and needlessly disturbing ourselves every day. We look at what is happening around our culture and the beliefs of our culture and the biological tendencies, and we begin to get influence every day, and we don't think in a rational way. And let me tell you this, these things have affected us, the way we think in relation to religion, politics, business, life in general, relationships. We get affected every day by cultural and biological tendencies that pushes us to think irrationally, and needlessly disturb ourselves. So try to begin examining your own beliefs. from the cultural and biological tendencies that seem to affect you big time in the way you do things, in the way you do things. And the second part of the assumption is that people invent disturbing beliefs or thoughts and keep themselves disturbed about their own disturbances. We invent disturbing thoughts or beliefs and keep ourselves disturbed about our own disturbances. Now, let me tell you this. The human beings are phenomenological. They live in a world that only themselves can understand better. You live in your own world that only you can understand better. I live in my own world that only me can understand better. Unless I allow you into my world, you will know very little about my world. Unless you allow me into your world, I will know very little of your world. People lock themselves in their own world. Whether they are going through struggles or comfort, people tend to create their own worlds. Human beings are phenomenological. They live in a world that only themselves can understand better. And it is in those worlds that we have created by ourselves, the inner world that we have created for ourselves, that we invent disturbing thoughts or beliefs and keep ourselves disturbed about our own disturbances. Can you imagine that? That people of a nation create or invent disturbing beliefs, disturbing thoughts, and then they keep themselves every year, every day, every month disturbed about their own disturbances. But the real problem with the nature of our beliefs is that we have contributed in creating them, and then we find ourselves struggling to keep them and getting disturbed about them the rest of our lives. Those are the effects of beliefs that I keep talking about. And unless we get to a point of transforming what we believe in and the foundations of our beliefs, then we risk getting disturbed the rest of our lives. Let me ask you today, what disturbing inventions have you done? What disturbing inventions have you done? And what is that you keep yourself disturbed with? What is that you keep yourself disturbed with? People invent disturbing thoughts and keep themselves disturbed about their own disturbances. It's a pity that some people struggle even to sleep because of particular disturbing thoughts that they have invented, and then they keep themselves disturbed about their own disturbances. What are your thoughts or disturbing thoughts that you have invented as far as spirituality is concerned? What are your disturbing thoughts that you have invented as far as business is concerned, as far as politics is concerned, as far as ethnicity is concerned, as far as life in general, or relationship or marriage is concerned? There are people who struggle in marriages because of disturbing beliefs and thoughts that they invented, which they keep themselves disturbed about their own disturbances. So they go round and round in circle, and it becomes difficult for them to go to the promised land because of their own invention that traps them in a circle. The children of Israel, a journey of 40 days from Egypt to the promised land took them 40 years. Why? Because they had invented disturbing thoughts and they kept themselves disturbed about their own disturbances for a very long time. No amount of miracles that Moses performed could satisfy these people to believe that what God had promised them, he could actually do. And that could be your situation today. That you have invented disturbing thoughts and you keep yourself disturbed about your own disturbances. I look at this part of the world, Africa, my country, Kenya, and whatever country that you're in, and you examine around you, you find the country and the culture and the people have invented disturbing thoughts, and they keep themselves disturbed about their own disturbances. One of these beliefs is that the black skin is a cursed skin. No, I don't believe that. We have melanin, and this melanin makes us strong. The more we keep saying Africa is a dark continent, whether it's a self-talk or it's a belief, it becomes a disturbing belief. The more we keep believing this is a third world, we will never rise up to the occasion and do great things. The more you keep believing that you are born in a terrible situation and that you are not lucky because you don't know anybody somewhere to help you get something, the more you keep disturbed with your own disturbing beliefs that you have invented. Ladies and gentlemen, life is a series of beliefs. What kind of beliefs have you formed? What kind of thoughts that keep you disturbed every day in your own life? Begin to look at the inventions you do. Some of them in a very subtle way. Some of them you're conscious of. Some of them you form them unconsciously. It could be a statement that was said to you or you heard and you believed it. You took it so strongly, began to analyze it and began to feed it with more thoughts. And now that has become a strong force in your life, and it has become very difficult for you to bring that down. It influences the better part of your life, because it has created trenches within your mind, so that anything that comes into your mind follows these particular trenches, just like water follows particular trenches on the ground when it's poured down. People invent disturbing thoughts and keep themselves disturbed about their own disturbances. As a leader, you can never rise above the limitations in your own life unless you begin to deal with some disturbing thoughts that you have invented that have kept you disturbed for the better part of your life, And finally, people can change their thoughts. And I like that. Like this assumption by Albert Ellis, that people can change their thoughts, emotions, and behavior. That's the hope. That irrespective of the fact that people condition themselves to feel disturbed through self-talk rather than being conditioned by external sources, that irrespective of the fact that people through cultural and biological tendencies think irrationally and needlessly disturb themselves, that irrespective of the fact that people invent disturbing thoughts and keep themselves disturbed about their own disturbances, people can change their thoughts, emotions, and behavior. People can change their thoughts, emotions, and behavior. But you will need to be aware of what really is affecting you. Awareness is the first solution to your own life problems. The greatest problem is that majority of people move through this life without awareness. They get into this life and they get lost like they're in a big forest without direction of knowing exactly where they are coming from and where they are going. Now, people can change their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. People can change their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. So you need to activate the tendencies. Then look at the belief systems that have been formed within your lives. Are these beliefs helping you becoming a better person, or these beliefs are destroying you? They're subduing you into things that are not real. And then begin to check the consequences of those beliefs within your life and debate and dispute those beliefs that you don't agree with. Then you can go ahead and form a new philosophy of living and push yourself to set goals that will take you to the reality of destiny. People can change their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. That's what I believe. That is the greatest hope that I have in humanity, that irrespective of how much you've been conditioned by negative tendencies, negative beliefs, you can change your thoughts. You can change your emotions and behaviors. and begin to position yourself with the right thoughts, healthy emotions, and behavior patterns that takes you to the right destination. To the right destination. This is the reality of life. This is the reality of life. People can change their thoughts and emotions and behaviors. So thank you very much for tuning in. It was great having you today in this role leadership talk. You want to contact us, you can visit our website right through the numbers and words that are passing on your screen. You can visit our website, www.publicspeakingtc.org, and see what we offer. You can also like our Facebook page, the Africa Center for Public Speaking, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and getting more information and more of these broadcasts that come to you every day. You can also call us through the number that appears on your screen or contact us through our email address. This that I've shared with you today is part of my new course called Mentality Change 101, based on my new book, Eradicating a Poverty Mentality. And I believe that Africa is positioned for greatness if we begin to change our mentality. It's been Dan Mugera, your coach, your speaker. I'm glad that you could tune in. See you next week. God bless you.